Hey everybody! Let me talk in this video about how we could make this layout more beautiful by adding some CSS. So you say, okay, why I'm using this layout? This layout that's not nice. I want to make it nicer. I want to change the color and other stuff and all these things. So how I would do all this work in Java? So you could manage your layout in Java using CSS. So if you have experience with CSS, so you come to right place. It's very easy for you. Otherwise, also it's still easy. So let me show you a basic example. I want to change the color for this button. So how I would do that? First of all, let me just click right here on my package. If you see, here is my package. Make sure to click right and say other, new other, and make sure in the other go to the other, and here look for something named CSS, hopefully cascading style sheet. Next, make it any name. Let me suppose I will name it calculator in this way. Okay, and yeah, I added. So if you see, this is basically basic CSS. If I want to change, for example, something related to the button, first of all, to change something related to the button, I will have to connect this file with my button file. I mean this one. So how I could connect it is not so complex. If you see, I have my layout here. I'm just defining my screen. I could add this CSS to this screen just by saying screen this way, hopefully, dot get since dot, I would say get style sheet. Then after that, say dot add. I just want to make it multi-line to make it easy for you. So what you would add, you say, okay, I would add, well, the name of the class. If you see, the name of a class is UI demo. So I say UI demo. Say, okay, UI demo. Make sure to write the same way, demo dot class. Then you say dot get resource, because you want to get the resource. Well, the resource name is this file. I have it, calculator.css, because this file is calculator.css. If you see, finally you say dot to external form, and yeah, here we done. You just change it to the and this is basically, if you want to know how to connect your CSS to this one, basically this is how you will do it to this file. Now let me think about the button. You say, okay, I want to change the color for this button. So first of all, I have to have something unique for this button, because if I just go to the code here on CSS and write a class name it button, I will affect all the button that I have in my work, because this is how CSS work. So to work for example, background color, so to background color you have to write /fx, then you say /background color, so you could access to any color. Let's suppose I want to add it red in this way, hopefully this one red. So yes, I will just adding red color, hopefully this one will work. Yeah, here we go. So just I am adding color, but now if you run it, it doesn't make sense for you, because he will affect on any button you have it, and maybe he does not access to this button. So how I could access to specific button? So I want to say only this button, I want to change the CSS for it. So I would say, okay, I would go to my button. What's the name of my button here in the code? I just set specific ID for that button, and I'm good. So I say, okay, where's the button? Here's the button. I just set the properties. Let me say ptn dot, I want to set the ID for it, so make sure you write it in this way, set ID. So what the value for the ID, let me suppose btnc. Let me just name it btnc to make you understand the difference between this one and this one. You could name it any name, so okay, I name it btnc. Now this is because it's ID, so to access to any ID in CSS you have to write hash, then the ID name. So hash ID name, this is to access to ID. To access to any class, you say dot, then a class name. To access the properties directory, you would not write anything. I want to access to ID, I would do it in this way. So now let me run it again and see. Yeah, there we go. This is the button change. You could change more properties, for example, /fx /font size. You want to change, hopefully you want to change font size. Hop. I don't know why my scrolls went /x dot font. Let's suppose you want to change the font, that you change the font to 18. So yeah, here we go. I would stop this one, and there you go. Just change this font size. Cool. So maybe you did not like this way of accessing to the object through or using ID. You could access to it. Maybe you have more than a button, and you want to do all them. So you could do using class. So you could say dot button. You could access to the button directory, and you would do same process without ID. But it depends on your app. Maybe some of your app want to use button or use class, and you want to for more than one item, because maybe you have more than one button, you want to give them same class, or maybe you want to do for single class only. So it's still, it depends on you. If you do a single class, use ID. If you want to do many class, use a class. So now the question is, well, the more details, how to get more details about CSS? Just say right here JavaFX CSS. You would find a lot of things. It's writing Java documentation, CSS guideline. I would really encourage you to go through these and see what the CSS and how we could use everyone in your code. So what I did teach you here really easy. Just tell you how you get specific object and how you give it properties value, and you continue. And this is how CSS works. But it depends on you. If you want to go more details, please go there and read how it's going on, do more details and change anything you wanted. So here we done, and thank you for watching.